Thank you, Madam Speaker. Well, what a farce tonight has turned into. Madam Speaker, I've been in this place for 11 years, as I remind people every now and again, and never once have I seen a Minister of the Crown get up after a second reading contribution from so many members in this House and so many questions being asked by us on behalf of the people we represent, but also on behalf of people with serious and weighty legal expertise. Yeah. Also on behalf of the Tasmanian Council of Social Services, on behalf of Unions Tasmania, Madam Deputy Speaker. I mean, it is a glaring demonstration of what a nasty joke this piece of legislation is, the contempt with which the Liberals hold this place, that you can have members in this place go through the legislation with considerable rigour. We had the Attorney-General, who's fled the chamber now, earlier accusing members from the Greens and from Labor of filibustering. Well, obviously she wasn't watching because she didn't care enough.
Mr. Connor, I have advised that you're not allowed to reflect on the bill because you haven't gone into committee.
Okay, well, I can reflect. Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. I can reflect, though, on what a political farce we have had to endure in this place today, where the resources of this parliament have been, the apparatus of the state, if you like, has been misused and manipulated for base political purposes. That's what's happened in here. And it is a sign of how little substance this amendment bill has, that we've sat in here today and we never saw the Premier show his face. The Deputy Premier was nowhere to be seen, as was the Leader of Government Business, who'd saunter in every now and again to see how the debate was going because, you know, no stamina, wants to go nine-nine. Treasurer didn't put in an appearance all day, as far as I can remember, Madam Speaker. Attorney-General, first law officer of this land, Madam Speaker, who undoubtedly was handed a copy of the Solicitor-General's advice in relation to the matter that we were discussing earlier, Madam Speaker. We did see Mr Barnett. Mr Barnett was there a fair bit, and Mr Shelton was barely to be seen. So the support for the matter we were discussing earlier has come from the likes of Mr Tucker and Mrs Ryler, who had their speeches written for them, no doubt about that at all in my mind, who laid out falsehood after falsehood, Madam Speaker. It is a farce. It's a farce. You came in here and you told manifest untruths, but it was such a lame performance from the government today, or the best they could do was wheel out the two Dorothys, Madam Speaker. Not one minister got in there behind Minister Barnett today. Not one. Ran a mile, Madam Speaker. And obviously the Attorney-General didn't want to hear what the Gilbert and Tobin Centre or Dr Brendan Gogarty said, or the Tasmanian Law Reform Institute or Community Legal Centres Tasmania or Civil Liberties Tasmania. The Attorney-General, the first law officer of the land, had no interest whatsoever in hearing what the legal opinion of this legislation is. Did you say, Ms Standen, that she knows better?
Oh, yeah.
Clearly.
Oh, yeah, no, she's a genius.
She does know better.
She's a genius.
Apparently, like mandatory minimum sentencing, this is good law. But, Madam Speaker, I'll just say this one thing. The most confronting episode today happened in this place about 10 minutes ago when there was a vote and a member who was elected on Labor votes came in here without having made a contribution on the bill and voted with the Liberals to make Tasmania a police state. It is breathtaking in its betrayal of the people of Clark. Breathtaking. Madam Speaker,
Don't
and it is
reflect on
breathtaking
the vote, please.
in its contempt of the legal profession. Thank you for your wise advice, Madam Speaker. So here we are, having fought this out all day to defend democracy in Tasmania, to stand by everyday Tasmanians, Madam Speaker. And we don't see the Attorney General, and we've got a member who didn't make a contribution who has betrayed her constituents, in my view, Madam Speaker. And so what will happen in here tomorrow is that we will go into committee and we'll have to go through every single clause, every word, every clause. We'll have to bring forward the submissions which have been ignored by government and the questions that came out of those submissions that we sought to have the Minister answer, Madam Speaker. And, you know, Dr Woodruff and I will be here, if necessary, at this time tomorrow, Friday morning, Madam Speaker, so that we can properly scrutinise this legislation. And the galling accusation of filibustering that came from the Attorney General, when every single day some limp piece of legislation is brought on for debate in here, and we get the conga line of Dorothy's, filibustering their way through an incredibly tedious piece of legislation. Madam Deputy Speaker, and the best that the Leader of the Government Business and Mrs Ryler can do here is sort of make cute little jokes about the other side of the House. This legislation was demolished today. It was demolished on expert testimony and submissions. Absolutely demolished. You know, the Attorney General couldn't even defend it. Your Minister implied that the Solicitor General was cool with it, but I don't think so, Madam Speaker. What a disgrace and an abuse of power and the apparatus of the state which you people manipulate on a daily basis.
Thank you.